Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I am jumping straight into today's video with my nails already prepped, so I am just gonna adhere my nail tips. I am going to be using these C-curve nail tips. You can use any nail tips of your choice, even any shape as well. I am going to be adhering these with this nail glue from Born Pretty, but honestly you can use base coat, and I will be using my Gel X lamp to help me adhere this. Now that my nail tips are glued on, I am going to do some slight blending of the nail tip. The nail tip kind of sticks out on the sides where the nail tip meets. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of file that down just so that it doesn't stick out while we're doing application. Now I'm going to go in with my sanding band just to create a further C-curve. This is completely optional and this is just something that I like to do. Before we begin our polygel application, I do apply a layer of base coat on the nail, and I will be curing this in the lamp for 30 seconds. For today's polygel, we will be using Daydream and Clear from a cart, and I will also be using alcohol as my slip solution. As far as application goes, I am approaching today's application a little differently today. I am doing a thin layer of the nude and another layer of clear. I typically would do one bead, but I want this polygel color to look more sheer against my skin tone. So just to clarify, I'm doing one bead of each shade, but never be afraid to add more if you need to. Remember that the structure of the nail is more important. Now, I do need to give a quick disclaimer that I do an astrology series that is centered around nails and the horoscope of each sign, so if you're interested, stay tuned, and if not, please do not torture yourself and make sure to utilize the timestamps below to skip over this section. So, I actually missed to post on Aries season. I am really sorry. I was trying to do too much during the season and bite a lot more than I can chew, which is typical in Aries fashion, but hopefully the wait was worth it. And this past Aries season was kind of heavy, if I'm being honest. It was not the best for me mentally. I don't know how other Aries were feeling or anybody else. Definitely let me know in the comments. I also typically like Aries season. Aries season is usually my favorite month, especially because this is the month where I'm able to get stuff done, and I usually feel very recharged and a huge burst of energy. In that same coin, I usually do way too much, and I think this past Aries season caused me to burn out. This past Aries season was also pretty crazy, and I feel so bad that I couldn't report anything for that month because it was very eventful. Even though I can't touch on the past Aries season, there is still something very spectacular coming up for Aries placements and us as a collective. The planet Neptune went into Aries in March this year and will go back into Pisces sometime later in October. Then it will move back into Aries next year and stay there for the next 14 years. Neptune hasn't been in Aries for 150 years, so we don't really know how it's going to play out exactly, but I do have my predictions. The last time Neptune was in Aries, it was the start of the Industrial Revolution and the rise of cities. So we'll be seeing the firsts of many things. Industrialized smart cities, AI being used more aggressively, AI fully taking jobs for the absolute first time. Neptune also rules the general public and glamour, since it will be in the sign of Aries, which rules athleticism, self, and taking action. This can really manifest into anything. For me, I think that we will see a lot of people discovering a new religion or spirituality, or just going super hard at it. I think the standard for beauty for bodies will also undergo a change. I think that more fit or athletic builds, maybe even more slim, will be the new beauty standard or attraction. I also think being clean and eating healthy will also be glamorized as well, especially all over social media. Some of you may not know this, but there was a roid epidemic that was going on through the 80s or 90s, I believe. Well, I think this time around, weight loss, injections, pills, and medicine is going to be extremely huge around this time. I think people will go to the extreme to really have a nice body and fit the beauty standard. Like, I know it's already pretty huge now, but I think with this transit, I think it'll be even more aggressive. I also think companies will start pushing products that will be geared towards looking younger or quote unquote healthier. I also think this will start being a huge wealth significator, eating clean, being able to maintain amazing skincare, being on top of healthcare, lasers, having nice healthy white teeth, nice hair, good nails, all of these type of things. On the flip side, I definitely think imperfection and unconventional beauty will also be appreciated a lot more under this transit since we are still under Pluto in Aquarius. I also think we'll see a lot of expressive, bold, and AI influenced makeup, hairstyles, and fashion trends. I'm really excited to see what emerges in the nail space. Saturn is also moving into Aries for a brief time this year, and then it'll move back into Pisces in the fall of this year, and then exit to Pisces February of 2026. There is so much to cover under this transit, but I do see a war between modesty and immodesty, to be honest. People may just be wanting to be free and express themselves and be self-expressive, but Aries, the sign of war, it may not be such an easy thing. For example, the media is going to push modesty and business professional fashion, but there's going to be another end of the allure for being flirty and immodesty and showing as much skin as possible and being yourself and unique. So it may not be that huge this year, but we'll slowly begin to see the glimpses of it until October. However, it'll be extremely prominent next year. So this is a huge pop culture thing, but I think the Baddies show on Zeus might rebrand or change the overall tone of their show only because irrational fighting and jumping into things with no thought, I feel like this type of thing is going to start losing its allure to the eyes of the public. I know we've already seen disdain from the public a couple times this year, but with Saturn and Neptune being in Aries, there's just going to be another event that I can see coming this year that is going to either shut the show down or just turn people completely away. Another thing that kind of made me a little sad about this transit is that people will start becoming even more aware of how bad the state of our society is to the to its complete extent. Especially online, I feel like it's already getting so bad. I read comments online and I am just like so shocked by how hateful people can be, and I feel like this is only the beginning of what we've been seeing. The Saturn and Neptune in Aries transit is definitely going to highlight this, and it's going to be more aware to people. Hopefully this can wake everyone up to a change. I think this transit this year as well is going to spark more conversations in how people view relationships and how they interact with each other. I think a lot of women will be walking away from relationships and feel more comfortable being single since Aries is a sign of self and being self-sufficient. I also think Anonymous is going to make a huge comeback, like legitimately this time. If you guys don't know who they are, look them up. I also think it's on brand because Mars and Neptune rules crime. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Neptune will be moving into Aries, on top of Pluto being in Aquarius, which signifies organized crime in groups. I also think cyber attacks and internet crime is going to become a lot more aggressive under this transit. This would definitely be a really good time to learn some cybersecurity skills. Many of you probably already saw this coming, but I also think sports gambling addictions are going to plague this country with this transit. Alright, so I'm done talking about the collective. Let's talk about what this means for Aries placements personally. I'm going to do a very brief rundown on this because it's going to be a lot more important next year, and I will touch way more and get in depth about next year and how this impacts you. But for as of right now, Aries placements, self-expression will be undergoing a change, obviously, but it's a little different this time. It may be a little uncomfortable. Aries placements are going to have Saturn touching them for a while. Saturn is the planet of responsibility, structure, restriction, and routine. This transit may be a huge wake-up call for many Aries placements. A lot of you may be forced to slow down and really think through your decisions before you act on them impulsively. Many of you will learn or be forced into responsibility during this transit as well. I think in general, the biggest takeaway that Aries can take from this transit is setting proper boundaries and being mindful. So that is all I had for Aries. It was a lot. It was crazy. I again want to apologize that I have not been present for your month specifically, but there was a lot of crazy and new things coming out anyways that I think compensated for my lateness. Aries, I hope you guys had a wonderful season, and I cannot wait to talk with you guys next year during your transit. So I am going to stop talking now and let you guys watch the rest of the application, and I'm going to speed it up.
Officer confirms solid rocket booster separation. Discovery Houston, performance nominal. Copy, nominal performance. A call from spacecraft communicator Kirk Brown to Commander Tom Hendricks aboard Discovery indicating that the solid rocket boosters performed as expected in the first stage of this 8.5-minute ride to orbit. Discovery 226,000 feet in altitude, 52 miles downrange. Traveling at almost 6,300 feet per second. Commander Tom Hendricks and pilot Kevin Kriegel at the controls on the flight deck, joined by flight engineer Nancy Curry and mission specialist Don Thomas. Discovery Houston, two-engine bin career. Two-engine bin career. Astronaut Mary Ellen Weather. Brown, the Commander Tom Hendricks gives the approval for mission specialist Don Thomas to unstrap from his seat, feeling the first effects of weightlessness, to grab a camera and take a picture of Discovery's external fuel tank as it drops away from the orbiter. External tank separation having been confirmed.
So here is how my Polygel application turned out. I'm going to go ahead and wipe away the sticky layer from the Polygel using alcohol. We are now ready to begin filing. I do have my dust collector ready, and I'm going to be going in with this 80 by 80 file on the sides of the nail and the free edge so that the shape is crisp. We are now ready to begin gel art. So I did ask in the community tab what inspiration I should do for Aries, and I did get some feedback. The only thing I changed around for the color scheme was blue, because we did previously do blue nails for the last two zodiac signs, and I feel like we should switch it out. And Aries was red, so I think I'm going to stick with that, but I did make sure to incorporate the gold. I mixed an orange and a pastel yellow together. I wanted a light orange for the French base. Once I was done curing the French in the lamp for 30 seconds, I am going to be using airbrush paint. I did have red and orange together, but I ended up just using the vibrant red alone, and I airbrushed that lightly on the thumb just to create an ombre effect. On this nail, I am going to be painting tiger stripes. I did do a little bit of cheetah. I really don't know what I was going for here. I think I just wanted something animalistic and fiery, so that's kind of what I went with. For this next part, I did mix rhinestone glue, top coat, and black gel polish because we're going to be doing some 3D art with isolated chrome. So once I finished with that mixture, I did paint that on this nail and did some 3D lines. For the pointer finger, we are doing the French again, and we're basically repeating the same process as we did with the thumb. For the next nail, we are doing 3D flowers, and I'll be using this solid glue gel from a cart in the color white. So for this part, I genuinely thought about painting over the flower with gel, but sometimes I feel like it ruins the dimension of the flower, so I ended up airbrushing it instead with the vibrant red. The next nail is going to be chrome, so we are going to paint a layer of black gel polish. It doesn't really need to be the best layer, we just need to make sure that it's covered completely black. And then we're going to follow that up with a layer of top coat after we finished curing the black in the lamp for 30 seconds. We apply top coat, also cure this in the lamp for 60 seconds, and we're going to apply the gold chrome. And for the pinky nail, it's going to look exactly like the thumb. To finish this look off, I am going to apply top coat on all of the nails, and I will cure this in the lamp for 60 seconds. So here are how my nails turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I actually really like these nails. They've really grown on me as I've been taking the time to edit everything. I initially was not going to post these because I didn't like them, but I feel like these have a nice tropical vibe to them, and I like the red and orange details as well. I do have everything that I used linked in the description box. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and thank you all so much for watching. I do hope to see you in my next video.